Hi, Carlinville Public Library friends. It's me, Miss Nadia from the Carlinville Public Library. I have another fun story time for you today, and it's about my favorite subject, the seasons. And our season is spring. It's spring. So let's start by warming up with this little spring song. Can you make your arms go up like this? And we're going to make our arms into the sun. And we're going to sing, the sun is shining bright. The sun is shining bright. Oh, how I love the warmth. The sun is shining bright. The rain is falling down. The rain is falling down. Oh, how I love the sound. The rain is falling down. The flowers start to bloom. The flowers start to bloom. Oh, how I love the sight. The flowers start to bloom. Good job, friends. Good job. The story I'm going to start with today is it's spring. You know it's spring when you hear the birds, and then there's baby birds in the nest. This story is written by Linda Glaser, and the illustrations are by Susan Swan. And she cut out paper and glued them together to make these pictures. So she cut out the shape of this leaf, but she also found a darker color green to cut these little lines out and glue them. And she did that also with the person's face. And it looks like she might have used on the person's face, used a little bit of paint or watercolor. Let's read more. It's spring. Oh, look at these flowers. Let me move this out of the way. Oh, look at those. Those are crocuses. Have you seen crocuses? I've seen them out in the yard. They're almost done, actually. They're the really short ones. They look like they're just coming out of the grass. They're very short. Oh, it's spring. It says, I've run outside in thin pants and short sleeves. No thick, heavy winter coat bundled around me. I skip and leap and feel light and free. Fresh air rushes all over me. Look at the grass hasn't quite turned very green yet. It's still kind of dark and brown. Some of the snow is still there, but look, the flowers are coming up, those little yellow crocus. Look at, and they don't have to wear coats because it's so warm out. Creeks and streams are starting to flow. We hear the trickle of melting ice and snow. Then one day, pitter patter, splitter splatter, rain pours down. Creeks and streams rush and gush again. Looks like she did use like a mixture of paints. And she did cut out like how it splashes like that and then glued it on top of another piece. That's so neat. I love it. I dip my boot in a puddle just to see how deep it is. Swish, swish. Watch this. Curse splash. It's spring. We find tight, pointy leaf buds on bushes and trees. I peel one open and see the tiny beginnings of fresh new leaves. I find some pussy willows. They look soft, and sleek. I rub one gently against my cheek. Pussy willows are like fuzzy. They're fuzzy like a rabbit. And if you look at these little buds, you should check them out up close. The ground is growing soft and warm again. There's a clean, fresh smell in the air. We find tiny new green growing things everywhere. Animals that slept all winter are now waking up. Earthworms, frogs, turtles, snakes, beetles, ladybugs. Can you see them all? Here. Ladybugs, a snake, a frog or a toad. Oh, look at a turtle. And then there's like a toad, something behind it. No, that's his head. And anything up here? Oh, there's a beetle. Have you seen any of those? I haven't, but I can hear these guys. They're very noisy. One day we spot a robin. Okay. Then soon we see red-winged blackbirds and a bright goldfinch. Early in the morning we hear the birds sing. They cheep and warble and trill. It's spring. Birds fly here and there with grass in their beaks. We watch them building nests in trees, getting ready for new families. Squirrels line their nests with sticks and dry leaves. And here in this hole are new baby bunnies. Right here, they're hidden. Be careful when you mow the grass. Sometimes the grass is tall and you can't see that the rabbits have made a nest. And it says ducks quacked to their ducklings and geese honked to their goslings. Goslings. All soft and fuzzy and out for a swim. And look at, what is she making? I think it might be a nest. Oh, look at the daffodils. Day by day, I watch flower buds grow and swell. Soon they burst open into bright daffodils. So sunny and cheerful, they make my heart sing. It's spring. Ferns uncurl, leaves unfurl. Tree branches that were bare now have tiny green leaves. It's time to plant seeds. Corn, cucumbers, beans, peas, and my very own sunflower seeds. All the things they planted. Have you planted your garden yet? It's not too late. It's time to start. They're so noisy at night. The days are getting longer. Now the sun sets after dinner. Outside we watch the sky turn slowly dark and count the stars as they come out. Then all the spring peepers and bullfrogs sing. It's spring. See, there's the boy and his dog. Wasn't that neat? The sun shines longer and the days grow warmer. One day I noticed that the trees are all covered with full grown leaves. Soon it will be summer, but right now it's still spring. I blow dandelion seed fluff and watch it float away. Dragonflies dip and dart every which way. I leap in the air. There's new life bursting everywhere. Come out, smell the flowers, hear the birds sing. It's spring. Oh, the back of this book has nature activities to do in the spring. You want to find out? Let's find out a couple of these. Let's see. It says take your hair out of your hairbrush and put it outside for the birds so they can line their nests with it. If you find a nest where baby birds have hatched, watch how the parents care for them, but stay far away. so you don't frighten or disturb them. Another suggestion is to put up a bird feeder, and it says listen to birds singing. And earlier, a couple of videos before, I did a story all about birds and their different sounds. It was called Feathers for Lunch because that silly kitty wanted to catch those birds, but of course she couldn't. But you could hear it had the different sounds and it had the names of the birds, so you could check that book out and find out what birds are singing around by you. So listen to your birds singing. It says see if you can find pictures of animals and what their changing color looks like. Springtime, their fur or feathers usually are changing from winter white to summer brown. You could collect earthworms and put them in a large jar with moist dirt, not wet dirt because they can't breathe, and wrap construction paper around it. And each day unwrap the black paper and watch the earthworms tunnel. And then after a few days, you want to put them back outside and put them in the garden because those are good for the garden. Wow, there's a lot of different things you could do. There's a lot of other suggestions, but we're going to move on. You should check this book out if you want to find out some more. Let's see. Ooh, so spring, and there's daffodils. Let's see. Do you remember this one? Can you put one finger out? And this is our first little daffodil. It says, one little daffodil had nothing much to do. Out pop another one. Then there were how many? Two. Two little daffodils were smiling at a bee. Out popped another one. Then there were three. Three little daffodils were growing by the door. Out popped another one. Ready? Then there were four. Four little daffodils were glad to be alive. Out popped another one. Ready? Then there were five. Five little daffodils were wearing golden crowns. Can you put a crown on? They danced in the breeze in green satin gowns. That's the end of that one. Good job, guys. My next story is frogs and toads because they're so noisy this time of year. They are at my house and they've been noisy for a while. And that lets you know it is spring and it is here. What do frogs say? Croak, croak. The frogs and toads have come to see you. Look at all of them. Some of them are pretty. Look at that one, blue and green. This one's got red and orange and green and white. Yet they're spotted. Wow, there's so many different frogs. They're so neat. It says common frogs live near ponds and in tall grass. And here are some common frogs. Look at, they have a big eye. They're in a pond. We have some, we don't have a pond, but we've got a creek nearby, and they love the ditches because they're filled with water. So common toads, it says, have no teeth. There are no teeth. And they have very long tongues. And here are some other pictures of some common toads. And there's his mouth. It says mouth and tongue. And look at him. He's got a big mouth. And look at, he's in a pot. So sometimes you find them in your garden. Look at. It says bullfrogs make very deep sounds like bulls. And it says croak. And here are some pictures of other bullfrogs. And it says croak. And look at, here's his eye. Look at this bullfrog. Look at how amazing this is. Look at, he doesn't have an ear like we do. Look at, we've got this flappy skin for our ear, and we have a thing called an eardrum on the inside, way in there. Look at his eardrums on the outside. He better be careful, because if you hurt your eardrum, you won't be able to hear anymore. Look at that. It's amazing how big that eardrum is. It's probably bigger than our eardrum, I would say. Oh, look at, these are mantellas. Mantellas can be many colors: black, blue, orange, yellow, or green. Look at all these pretty mantellas. Oh, they're very pretty. Oh, here's burrowing toads. They dig holes with their back feet. Their back feet are shaped like spades, or like a shovel, like you would use to dig up dirt. Shaped like that. And look at, these are different colors or different kinds of burrowing toads. Oh, look at the snake. It says an animal could die if it eats a poison dart frog. Here's a poison dart frog. Look at, they're blue. Look at it. They're very pretty. Yeah, and there's their skin. You probably wouldn't want to hold it, so don't touch the frogs. They could be poisonous. And look at, this is a cane toad. Cane toads are some of the biggest toads in the world. They have bumpy skin and a large eye. Look at. You should look them up and try to find another book about toads, and I bet you it'll give you more information about these cane toads and where you can find them. Here's some more pictures of some other types of cane toads. It's cane, C-A-N-E. Tree frogs. We usually have a bunch of tree frogs, and I think I saw my first one already this spring. He was in the doorway, and it says tree frogs can be tiny, and they live and hide in trees or in windows or doors. They like our house for some reason. We usually have a bunch of tree frogs in our window. They like the light and the heat that comes off our house, especially in the fall. And look at, and I believe this one right here. He's been on our house, I bet. Oh, look at, fire-bellied toads have bright bellies that scare animals away. See? And here's a bunch of other types of fire-bellied toads. Oh, this one's neat. Look at, the skin of a glass frog can be seen through like glass. So look at closely. You can kind of see his tummy. Yep, and the kind of like the veins or something right there. Yeah, you can kind of see light through their fingers. Isn't that interesting? Oh, look at, is that his heart maybe? And that's his tummy, his stomach. So interesting. And they have round fingers. So these are a bunch of different glass frogs. Remember, glass, you know, like a window. If you want to come to the library and look up a little bit more. I'd like to know where they're at, where I would be able to find them in nature. Other frogs have round fingers. Clawed frogs have pointed claws. Look at, he's got pointed claws. And they have webbed feet down here. So the front is like a claw and the back is webbed. And here's a bunch of different types of webbed frogs or clawed frogs. Horned frogs, look at him. He's interesting. He almost looks like a dragon or a lizard. So this is a horned frog, and they have horns that look like big pointed eyebrows right here. And here are some other pictures of horned frogs. It's very interesting. I wonder where you can find them in nature. So the frogs and toads jump away. Off they go. Frog! Can you leap like a frog? I don't think I can. They're very flexible. Look at how you can do the splits. Oh my goodness. And look at, there's some definitions. This one says, because it's a nonfiction book, that means it's loaded with facts. You can look up and there's a definition for burrow. It says the hole where an animal lives. Claw, a pointed nail some animals have on their fingers. Horns, points on an animal's head. Skin, the covering of in an animal's body. And tongue, a mouth part for tasting, eating, and making sounds. Look at that. So that's called a glossary. It helps you understand what some of the words mean. So I want to see you. Can you show me 5 green and speckled frogs? 5 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. Rub your tummy, yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are 4 green speckled frogs. Glub, glub. 4 green speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are 3 green speckled frogs. Glub, glub. 3 green speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are 2 green speckled frogs. 2 green speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there is 1 green speckled frog. 1 green speckled frog sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are no green speckled frogs, which means the number 0. 0, it's the circle. All right, real quick. I've got a little frog craft for you. Ribbit, 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 ribbit. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. All right, this is how you do it. You can either take a little paper plate or a big paper plate, or you can just trace a big circle on a piece of green construction paper. If you're using a purple or a paper plate, you'll need to either paint it green or color it green with your marker or crayons. Then the inside, you'll want to just within the inside, or on the other side, just on the inside, on the other side. Okay, this is green. On the inside here, pink. Okay, and then you can fold it like this, and that's his mouth. Chomp, chomp. Then you're going to take some green construction paper, and remember, Mom or Dad may want to help you with this. You can make the feet like this. I have pointy toes. And guess what? I kind of make shortcuts. So how I did it was I folded this in half, and then I made one of my bottom feet, back feet. And so, because their legs are kind of bent underneath them, so I made this rounded part, and then these are his toes. So I folded it in half and did just this little bit, and then I cut it out, and I had 2. So That's one way to do it. And then for the front feet, I did the same thing. I folded the paper in half and then I traced this little picture, this little shape out. It's kind of like a fork and had pointy. And I cut them out, and then I had two because I had folded the paper. All right. So that, and so then you glue the legs on. And then I used a little skinny piece of paper. I had this pink paper, and I kind of did this. And then I put it in the mouth, glued it down, but I didn't glue it all the way down. So then I rolled this, so it kind of would curl when you open up the mouth. Also, I did the same thing. I folded my paper over to make these eyes, and then I made sure that it was long enough to kind of glue it on there. And then I had these eyeballs, and I put them on there, and I put a little nostril. Look at ribbit, 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 ribbit. So that is how I made my frog, and you can try it too. All right, you guys have a great day. I'm gonna let you go. You guys have a great day. I hope you get to play outside, and I hope it doesn't rain too much on you. And oh, also remember, June and July, Thursday mornings at Loveless Park, we're gonna have our summer reading program, Reading Colors Your World, Our World. Anyway, so you register online, or you can come into the library, or shoot us an email at mail@carlinvillelibrary.org, or give us a call at 854-3505 if you want to sign up. All right, you guys have a great day. I'll see you later. Bye.